Hello, welcome back to Excel 2016. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at the use of the data table in a continuation of the what if analysis. In the previous video, we did use the scenario manager, which is also part of the what if analysis. So in this video, we're looking at the data table. They're sort of similar. They are asking what if. For this video, we are asking, what if our interest rate changes? How will that affect our credit card payment plan? In the top here, we have our current balance of $7,000 and the interest rate is 16.2%. The projected payment period is for 36 months, that's 3 years. Now, that's clear. What is not clear is what happens if our interest rate, for example, skyrockets to 22% or 22.5% and so on and so forth. That is a question we can ask, what if? Another way we can ask this question is, what if we have our interest, what if we want to know what our interest projection would be for different monthly scenario? In this case, we're looking at only 36 months, but down here in this second example, we're looking at different number of months: 190 months, 240 months, 360 and 420 months. What happens then if we stretch our payment within this period at this specific interest rate? If we stretch our payment for our $7,000 credit card balance at 22% for 190 months, 240 months, 360 months, or 420 months, how much are we going to be paying? I hope that's clear enough. The other example is looking at it from the other perspective. If we have this number of months, 12, 24, 36, up to 84 months, what would be the interest rate for each of these monthly projection? Okay, so let's talk less and actually do something. In order to get to the what if analysis and the data table, as you remember from the last video, if you haven't seen it, please go back and check it. Click on the data tab, and on the right hand side where we have our forecast command group, you will find the what if analysis. Click on the drop down and click on data table. This little table here, let's bring it up here, appears. So right before we do that, let's cancel this. We needed to select the table that we want to ask the question of. So now that I've selected the table, I can now go to the drop down here under the what if analysis and click on data table. So there are two cells here. So the first cell is the column input cell and the row input cell. The column input cell is useful in this sense because we're only looking at a simple one item, so to speak, analysis. We are only asking what would be the payment if our interest rate changes and nothing else, just the interest rate. Or the results of the change of the interest rate will be entered under the column right here. So in that case, we are only selecting interest rate from our formula table here. So let's click on interest rate, and if we click OK now, you see that we have all our answers. When we were paying 16.2% at $7,000 loan for 36 months, our interest rate was only at $246.79. When that interest rate increases to 22%, we start paying $267.33. At let's go down here. At 25%, it is $278.32. You can see how depressing this can be if you have interest, if you have credit card balance, if you carry any credit card loan balance. All right, so I'm sorry, see, we're going to get more depressing when we look at if the payment is stretched out over time. This time around, we're only looking at you being able to pay the credit card loan for within 36 months. What happens if it's more than that? All right, so let's look at that. Again, we are going to select the table, and we're going to go to the data tab and find the what if analysis and click on our data table. This time around, we're going to need to fill these two cells, the row input cell and the column input cell. In this case, the row input cell will be these, the months. So right here, all right, and that will be 36, and the column input cell will be the interest rate, and that will be right here, which is cell C4. Okay, so the row input cell is cell C5, which contains the month, and the column input cell is cell C4, which contains the interest rate. So if we click OK now, we fill the entire table with what if scenarios, what if analysis. What if our interest rate changes for 190 months and it becomes 22%? We'll start paying $132.53. As you know, the longer you take to pay, the lower the monthly interest is. However, over the long term, you are paying more to the interest, paying more to the credit card providers, but your monthly interest will reduce, as you can see here. So even if you pay 25%, if you are paying an interest rate of 22% and you stretch it over 420 months, which is about 35 years, your payment will reduce to $128.40. So it is the same if you go across the board, because you're stretching it over a long period of time. You pay, even if your interest is higher, your monthly payment is reduced. However, as you know, that the credit card company will benefit more in the long run, because your interest overall that you pay to them will be more over time. Okay, so let's take the other example now, which is the other way around. If we select this table here and go to our data tab and find data table, here we are looking to see how the number of months will affect our payment. So the input cell will be the column input cell, and it's going to be 36 months. Okay, if we click OK, we see what the payment here is. Okay, so here we go. If you look at the table here, keep an eye on 36 months. You see that it is not very different from what we have here. At 36 months, the interest rate was $246.79. It is the same here, $246.79. But if we look at the other changes, if, for example, we change the interest, we change the monthly period, the payment period to 12 months, you can see the change here. Because the period is shorter, you're making only 12 payments, I suppose, if you're paying monthly. Then you see that your payment will increase to $635.78. The more you stretch it out, the more you increase the number of months, the smaller it becomes. Okay, so let's do the last one here using 2 points data here. So I'm going to select the table as usual, go to the data tab, find the what if analysis command, and click on the drop down menu to find the data table. So we're going to do again what we did here. The column cell is going to be the months, so click on cell C5 here, and the row input cell is going to be the interest. So again, we click on the on cell C4. All right, so click OK, and then you're going to have these changes here. All right, so the higher the interest rate here, right here we have our interest rate at 17%, 14.5%, 19%, and 19.5%. Even if the interest rate is higher here, for example, you see that the monthly payment is lower because the duration of payment, 84 months, is way higher. So yeah, play with this a little bit and take a look at the table, and then meet me on the underside as usual. I think for this series we just have one more to go. The next video we're going to be dealing with automating certain functions in Excel using the macro function. All right, thanks for watching this video. I will see you on the other side.